What's up, everybody? This is David Leach. Welcome to the Drinks on Dave podcast, an unbiased, unrelenting, and unfiltered show about everything and anything. So crack a cold one and let's go.
Okay.
Ashley, my neighbor, welcome to Drinks on Dave.
Yes. I'm excited to be here.
I'm honored to have you here. You are a legendary in the Raytown worlds, as am I, but you are very well known for all the right reasons and some crazy stuff. As I'm David Leach. Everyone knows my dumb ass or something, but we gotta talk to you today. First of all, you live behind me.
Yes.
Which is random as fuck.
I don't know how that happened.
That was not planned by either of us. And so you first, let's just get it out of the open. Your story that I know about has lived in infamy through Raytown and surrounding areas for years. But you were married once.
Well, we weren't married, but
we were married.
No, I've never been married.
Okay.
But we were together for 7 years. I don't remember now. We have 3 kids together, but
3 kids together. Was it ever good? Was it
young
love at one point?
Yeah. I mean, we met when I was 20. I was freshly 21. I was like a month after I turned 21, and then I got pregnant, I believe that March. So it was very quick, and I moved to North Carolina in February.
Wow.
And it was great for a while, but I was young and I was living a different lifestyle than what I'm currently living, and he is still currently living that lifestyle. So we grew apart, and that's fine. But we moved back here. I had 2 more kids, and I think I started to mature, and he never got there.
Out when you were out north, was it military?
Mm-hmm.
So you were doing the military thing,
kind
of married but not.
I loved it out there. I really did. And he got medically discharged or something, so he got out, and then we moved back and lived in Windsor, Missouri. We lived in Windsor for a couple of years, and then bought our house in Bates City. And
you probably liked it in Windsor, right? It's slow pay, or was it just not enough going on?
There was just nowhere to work, really, unless you want to drive like an hour. I worked in Sedalia, and it took me like 45 minutes to get to work every day. So, but he was going to school at UCM, so it was close for him. And then family, his mom was living in Smithville, so that's we had no help really, which was difficult. But then bought our house in Bates City and lived there until everything went down.
So was this still kind of the unicorn and butterfly stage, kind of young love, or was it the sign with the red flags there yet?
I think when I got pregnant with my third, she was very much a surprise, and I knew then that I wasn't happy. But at that point, I was already, I was already pregnant again, and I was like, well, we're gonna make this work.
Was the postpartum thing, is that a thing? Is it?
Yeah. So I think that after my third one, I had really bad postpartum depression, and I was working. After all my kids, I went right back to work, and he never had a job the whole time we were together. So he was collecting his money from the Army or whatever, but I was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, and then coming home, and the house was a mess, and the kids weren't taken care of, and I was just I'm overwhelmed. And back then, I was still young. I was 26, 27, and I didn't really know what was going on. I was just trying to.
This is life. This is
life. But then I'm like, I don't think that this is normal. Why when I get home from my second job, does he immediately get to go out and leave with his friends and leave me with the kids? That's not normal.
Yeah,
it's not normal. But
that's the Midwest life that they try to married life, work 2 jobs, come home. But that's when you started to see this isn't my life.
This isn't normal. Yeah, especially after I would ask. I would be like, can you please not leave tonight? I'm tired, whatever. And then he would leave. So I feel like I was asking for bare minimum, and I wasn't even getting that.
So before we get to the story's leading up to some fucking crazy shit.
The fun part.
But when, how does he, or at this time, are you doing Thanksgiving with families, Christmas with, are your families integrated at this point?
No, we don't. We don't do anything together at all. We don't do birthdays together. We don't do anything together at all. And it's mainly because of everything that happened.
But before it did, is that how he met the person that we're going to end? Is that how he met?
No, he met her just from her coming to my house and having drinks with us and everything else. And there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, they met then. Do I think anything was going on then? Not necessarily. I don't know if he would have ever actually cheated on me, but it was, looking back, it was very odd because I would go to bed and they would stay up and drink together, and maybe nothing happened. Maybe I'm naive. I don't know.
Well, and I kind of gave the story away already. So you were ended up, just to fast forward. So, because I know there's so much to unpack here, he ended up cheating on you with your sister.
Well,
right?
Yeah, he didn't necessarily cheat on me because I'd left him after the last night that I asked him not to leave. And he left with, again, a mutual friend. I don't know if I'm supposed to say names on here or not, but
yeah, we better probably, if you can avoid it.
He left with a mutual friend of your guys's and never came home and stayed the night with somebody where his ex-girlfriend also stayed the night at. And I was not okay with that. Obviously, I don't think anybody would be. And while I was at home with the kids, and I called his mom, and I remember crying, and I was like, I'm going to leave your son. Like, this is going to happen. And she's like, Ashley, you can make things work, whatever. And I think maybe I stayed, and there was another incident after that where he had freaked out on me in front of the kids and like called me all these names. And my son was like, I'm sorry, Daddy's mean to you, Mom. And I was just kind of like, this isn't okay.
Yeah.
And I left shortly after. I had my mom come pick me up. I left him with the house, all of the vehicles, I left him with absolutely everything. I went out and got my own car. I had to get my own place. Started from scratch completely, left him with all of it. Right after that, I found out that he was dating another mutual friend of ours, and which was fine because I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he was cheating on her with also one of her friends who's married. And I found text messages of that in his phone. He was supposed to be watching the kids while I was working.
Yeah.
And he wasn't answering, and I went over to his house, and he was passed out drunk on the floor. And I looked at his phone, and which I don't even really know why I did that. I was just being nosy. And I saw text messages of this girl that is married that and he was like, well, I sent you home with your panties in your purse or something. And I was like, oh.
He had the notifications on the
Yeah.
iPhone.
Well, he didn't even have his phone locked. He didn't just get into it. It was like
God.
an Android or something, and
Yeah.
didn't have
That's
it locked.
why Androids suck.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. And so I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I brought that up to him. I was like, you're sleeping with somebody that's married? Like, that's just, you're digging yourself in a deep hole. And then I remember I took the kids to see him on Father's Day, and I already had them full time, just not like technical custody, I guess, of them. And I took him to see him, and he kept making these really weird comments. And at the time, I knew he was dating our friend, and he kept making these very weird comments. He was like, something's going to come up soon that's going to make you really upset, but you have to remember that it's like the kids are what's important. He kept saying,
he texting you this, or
he was telling me in person, like the kids, we had to meet at a mutual place. We didn't like hang out. So we met at his uncle's, and the kids were swimming, and he kept making these very odd comments. And I was like, something's weird here. And he leaves, and I call another mutual friend of mine who my sister was actually dating at the time and was living with. They had been together for like 3 years. And it was also my ex's best friend of like 35 years. Do you know who I'm referring to?
I do.
Okay. I called him, and I was like, hey, do you know where my sister is? And he was very short with me. He was like, no. And I was like, okay. Have you talked to her? And he's like, no. And I was like, is she still living there? And he's like, I don't think so. And I was like, okay. And I said, I have a feeling something is telling me that there's something going on with him or with her and
But was it laughable at that point? Like they can't be, but
I still didn't really believe it. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And so I was like, he's like, I have a feeling. He agreed with me. He's like, I think so too. And I was like, well, I'm about to find out. So I had my kids in the car, and they all fell asleep. And so I drove to our house in Bates City, and I pull in, and her car was there, like tucked back into kind of like the woods. And I was like, okay. I at that point knew that I was getting ready to walk in on something or see something that, was going to upset me. So I walk up to the front. My kids are still sleeping. I left my car running, walk up into the front door, and he never locked the door. So I was like, technically, I still live here. I have mail coming here. I'm not breaking in.
Yeah.
So I knock on the door. Nobody answers, and I hear music playing but I see all of my sister's things in the living room.
Yeah.
And so I just walk in and I immediately go to our bedroom, and they're laying like basically naked, like bra and panties and boxers in the bed. And I was just kind of like, okay. And
you walked in on it.
Yeah. And he looked at me and then just immediately looked away. And she stared at me, but like her mouth dropped wide open. Nobody ever said, they didn't say a word. I said some stuff. I don't really remember what I said. I was very angry at the time, obviously, but I was like, this is, you're not going to see your kids again until we go to court. And I was like, this isn't an environment that I'm going to have them in. I'm sure I said some very mean things, but I don't remember at this point. And I went to walk out, and then I think I walked back in, said some more mean things, and then I left. And after that, I've just been very like, I think by that point she was already pregnant with their first kid, because I think their first kid was born in February of that next year. So she would have had to have gotten pregnant in like what, April? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's time frame.
Yeah, so she had already moved all of her things into the house and moved them straight out of her boyfriend's house that was his best friend of 35 years, and moved it straight into my ex's house, and was already pregnant. Well, I didn't realize she was pregnant until the end of that year. She'd hid out. She hadn't talked to like our father. She hadn't talked to me, obviously. I never got an apology. She told me that the reason why she didn't feel bad, she told Glenn this. Whatever. She told
everyone watching.
Everyone's going to know who it is anyway. She
Yeah.
told Glenn that she didn't care because she texted me one year on Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, and I didn't respond back to her. That was her like, defending, I guess, why she did what she did. And I was like, I was a single mom. I was working multiple jobs, raising kids. Like I'll open up messages all the time and not respond. I'll respond to them like 3 days later. Like, okay, cool. And then set it down, get back to it later. But I guess that made me, I don't know.
That opened up that was the reasoning on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that was the reasoning. So they have been, well, I guess kind of going back, she showed up to my dad's house on Christmas and was incredibly pregnant. And I guess he told her, he said, I'm going to give you or Glenn 24 hours to tell Ashley what's going on. And so I got a call from my dad the following day. I was at work, and he was like, have you talked to your sister or Glenn? And I was like, no, why would I? He's like, well, you need to, I don't want to upset you, but I need to tell you something that, is probably going to upset you. He said, your sister is very pregnant. And I was like, okay.
Going through something like that affected dating for you since then? Like, you smell bullshit a mile away now more than ever?
I think it really ruined me on ever wanting to live with a man again, if that makes sense. Yeah. The moving out process and the whole just starting over with nothing was.
You don't forget that.
I don't forget that. And I will never, I can never see myself giving a man like that power for me to have to like completely start my life over again. I can never ever see that in my future. I would rather have my own place and be able to just break things off if I wanted to and not have to completely change my life.
Since Glenn, have you come close to a long-term relationship at all?
I dated somebody for quite a while that lived here, and then he ended up moving back to Texas, and I was actually going to move to Texas.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I was actually going to move to Texas with him. I had to have Glenn served papers that had to be like signed, basically stating that I was going to move out of state with the children, and he signed them and he had 30 days to take me back to court, and he never did. But I ended up not moving just because my mom was having a really hard time with me going. But yeah, that was the most serious relationship I've been in, and we just kind of unfortunately broke things off because of the distance, and that wasn't going to work.
What's up, everybody? This is David Leach on the Drinks on Day podcast. I want to talk about OnlyFans. Are you currently on OnlyFans? Are you addicted to OnlyFans? Or did you walk away from OnlyFans with a crazy story? Hit me up and let's talk about it on the Drinks on Day podcast, Sundays 12 to 2.
My kids have only met, I want to say 3 people since then, and one of them was the one that I dated for quite some time. Another one was actually a mutual friend of Glenn and I's in North Carolina that I dated, and he came here. And I've always been very honest with my kids, and I tell them, like, if you don't like someone, tell me, because like, you guys getting along with them is just as important as me getting along with them.
Yeah.
So after he came here to visit from North Carolina, he left. He was here for a week. He left, and my kids were just kind of like, well, he didn't really talk to us much. And I was like, say less. And I broke up with him like the very next week or next day or whatever it was.
The kids don't like it, Scott.
I'm like,
they know stuff that you don't. They sense it.
You have one chance. You need to make an impression on my kids, especially if you're here for a week and they didn't really get a good vibe from you. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
What do you think it was? Because your kids are very outgoing, and I mean, they ring my doorbell, and we'll put that clip in there. But they ring my doorbell and talk shit. But
yeah, my kids are very much like me. They're very just kind of outspoken and outgoing. So I think it was because he didn't really make any attempt to
was he just scrolling,
I mean, we played board games and stuff, and he never really just wanted to interact with them much. It was kind of odd. He has kids himself too, so he told me his reasoning. I told him, I said, listen, my kids weren't really didn't really like it, didn't really like the vibe, and he was like, I didn't want to like push myself on him like the first time. I was like, you were here for a week, and you have like that's the biggest impression you can make is your first one with my kids, and it wasn't a good one. So, we were already attempting a long distance relationship, so it wasn't worth it to me. Aside from that, I haven't been on a date in over 3 years. I don't have any interest. I don't.
Did anyone answer your Facebook dating ad that you put on the other day?
My most recent one?
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be a funny one about Riley Green, which a lot of people didn't catch on to.
It went over everybody's head. Of course it did.
I know. And all these people are like, well, you're asking for this. And I'm like, this just shows why I don't want to date. You guys are idiots.
Exactly.
But, I have always had a thing for cowboys. I don't know what it is. It's just been a thing of mine. And I don't know why, because I'm from Raytown. That doesn't make any sense. But, people message me. I get messages daily. I don't open them. I try not to, because if I open them and I don't respond, they get mad.
Of course.
I can bring up 100 messages in my inbox right now of just men saying the most outlandish things, or they'll talk to themselves for quite some time. If I don't respond back, they'll just be like, how's your day going? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful Sunday. How's life? Well, I'm like, I've never responded to you. Like, if you're just carrying on a conversation by yourself in my inbox.
What do you think where do you think dating is heading? I mean, do you think it's just because people are getting more closed off every day? Mm-hmm. Like, you're already never going to live with a guy. It would take one in a million. I'm the same way. After what I went, I never want to live with someone again. I mean, it's just, once you get that freedom, I think there's no going back. And we're getting at that age now where you just, if there's a bullshit, like if your best friend is like at my end, if your best friend, the whole world is a guy, come on.
Yeah, it doesn't, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm a firm believer in like respecting boundaries and, what people are comfortable with. And I think because my past is so messed up that I will probably have trust issues for quite a long, maybe even forever. I got betrayed by my sister and by my children's father, like people that are the closest to me. And I think that will affect me for the rest of my life. And I know I've done therapy, I've done all those things. But I think that there's just some things that you will never completely get over, if Absolutely. That makes sense. I don't have any interest in dating. I don't have any interest in meeting people and asking questions and answering silly questions. It sounds exhausting. It sounds exhausting. I'd rather work, make money, and take care of my kids and be by myself.
Well, then when the kids are involved, that changes everything too. It's just, I don't know. What do you think of have you ever been on Tinder? Did you do that?
I didn't do Tinder. I did Bumble, and then I just.
Is that bad? Any good shit from there?
I'm not good at starting conversations with people. Especially men, I guess. And I find myself more attracted to women than I have men. And I think it's because I'm just tired of men. I'm sick of it. And I don't want to be like one of those like man haters or, that's not it. It's just that I
Have you
haven't.
dated? Could you date a woman? Have you ever?
I never have, but I
But
have. Some of the dating sites that I have recently been on have been those type of dating sites, like
yeah,
more leaning towards either. That's so funny that you brought up Tori, your last one, because she's kind of into the.
yeah.
What was it that she was saying?
Unit like the unicorns, like where they're
Yeah,
open, but
is that what it is?
yeah, the
Okay,
thruple thing, yeah.
yeah. Um, I have actually like looked into doing that because I'm more of like I'm just here for a good time, and I don't want to be attached to anybody. I don't know. I want to
Yeah.
be able to leave, but I also am not one that could do like one night stands. I've never, ever, ever been one that can do that. I have to have like some type of feelings involved, whether that be just friendship or whatever, but I have to actually care about someone. I can't just go sleep with someone.
People are too fucking nasty nowadays.
Yeah.
They just straight up like you.
I won't do Tinder. I feel like Tinder is just a hookup thing. I think Hinge is one, and I've heard Hinge is just kind of the same way. I'm not. There are some of the men that post on there that are just like, just looking for a good time or whatever. And I'm like, who actually messages you? Like, how do you find women? How do you? Because that alone, I would never speak to you. I would never speak to you.
Which is what I want to. What's your thing? What's your? I really value your opinion and respect your opinion on this. What's your thing on the "Are we dating the same guy" sites and all that? Because I was infamously put on there a couple of years ago when all I did was, and it was the most embarrassing day of my life, and all I did was ask a girl out for tacos. I really didn't. It wasn't even like that. But I mean, do you think?
Were
Because
you
there's,
dating someone at the time?
I wasn't.
You were single.
I was single. Yeah, this is post Jade. I'm ready out of mom's basement. Got my own place. I'm gonna ask her out for tacos, and I was put on there, and just I'm an attention whore, and it was too much for me. I was like sitting at a quick trip pump, 600 comments later, shaking. So I've seen both. I have good girlfriends that are on both sides of it because a lot of bad people get exposed in there,
A lot. Yeah.
which I'm all for that, but.
My only thing is that I do feel like women, and maybe men do the same things. I know there's some similar sites with men, right? Or like, are
But
we
it's a
dating?
joke. Men are just, oh, I'd fuck her.
I don't think
It's
men
not.
care.
We
Like,
don't.
I don't
That's
think men care. If you were in a, like, I just don't, like, are we dating the same girl? Cool. Well, you sleep with her this day, I'll sleep with her this way. I don't
it
think men
really.
care.
Yeah.
Women are insane though. So the only thing that I don't like about it, I feel like if you're dating for, you guys are both, you've agreed that you're exclusive and you are questioning it. However, I feel like at that point, if you're questioning it, if you're having thoughts that there might be somebody else or anybody, that's already a huge red flag.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to have to feel like that. But I will see women get on there and post after they've been talking to a guy for like a week. And they're like, are we dating the same guy? And I'm like, yeah, you probably are because
Right.
you've been talking for a week and you met him on Tinder. You and 12 other women are probably dating the same guy right now. But then I think that gives some men a bad reputation just off the get-go, which isn't fair. But however, if you've been dating a man for 6 months and you guys are both supposed to be exclusive and you are talking to other women, that's not okay. But I've never thankfully been put on one of those sites. I also don't talk to people, so that helps.
It really does.
I would never be on one of those sites.
It straightened my ass up quick. I was done. Like then I was I'm single since I was done. Like that. It straightened my. I mean, I've dated a couple people here and there, but I mean that it was just embarrassing. I think you were in there. Everybody's in there. I was talking to my sister was in there, but when you talk to some girls about it, it's like. I swore to secrecy. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Am I in there? Like, some girls take
They'll
that.
kick you out of the group. So
Yeah,
I got kicked out of one.
I know. That's what I heard. What was it about? Was it?
And it was a friend of mine that got posted, and I made a
Yeah.
silly comment on there, like joking about it, and they kicked me out. But apparently, they're known for kicking people out. So
There's a lot of girls in that group.
so many, but they've made like other branches of it now. So they
Jesus
there are
Christ.
so many other branches of it now that men don't stand a chance. I kind of love that. Just for the
Yeah.
dating community in general. I do, but at the same time, I don't have to worry. I feel like I don't have to worry about it because again, I don't talk to people. I don't even pretend to date people or pretend to entertain people. I don't even do that.
It's
So
a small city, and like neighboring towns don't. You'll get I mean, another thing I want to ask you, who has time to cheat? And if you can get away with cheating in 2024, my God,
It's
like
crazy.
fucking hats off to you. Because there's just so many, I mean, fuck, right? I mean, who has time?
There's too many ways to get caught. I made the mistake of going on a date, I believe, with somebody that lived in Oak Grove when I first moved out here, and I learned my lesson so quickly.
Jesus Christ.
He was single. He was divorced, but single. And I was obviously single. And we went on like a, I don't know. We like went and played some type of sport. I don't remember what what's the one where it's like golf, but you throw the thing?
Yeah, frisbee
golf or something.
Yeah.
That's called. Okay, we went and did that. Whatever. I'm all about sports. If I'm gonna go on a date, I want it to be something to where I can like compete with you because I want to win.
Absolutely.
And I ended up getting like an insane message very quickly from his ex-wife. Like, we're trying to work things out and this, and this. And I'm like, I went on like one date with him. Nothing happened. We had a good time. We're friends. We still ended up being friends. We're still friends. I'm actually friends with his ex-wife now. But I learned my lesson very quickly. I have a strict rule. I will not date anybody from Oak Grove. I won't get involved in. I probably won't date people in towns that are surrounding Oak Grove.
How did it leak? Like TMZ leaked that quick with fucking someone there?
I have no idea. I don't know if he mentioned it. I didn't ask. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I was under the impression he was divorced and single, and I'm single, and we just went and we enjoyed our time together, and that was it. And she was like, well, we're working on our relationship. I'm like, well, you have at it. Leave me out of it.
But when something like that happens, that just push you further away from like wanting anything else. Like, see, when like, it's like
I can't even date a divorced man, like because of your crazy ex-wife. Like, no, and I don't mean crazy because I'm friends with. It's hard for me to make enemies because I just don't care. And I don't date or get involved with people, so I don't have a lot of people that don't like me because I keep to myself. But I'm convinced the next person that I date is going to be a woman. I'm convinced because I'm fed up.
If you ever do date a girl, which I hope you do explore that. I mean, don't you think the same drama bullshit could happen with them? I mean,
God, I don't know. I see all of these like such happy lesbian couples, and I'm like, why do I not have that? And I don't know if it's because women understand other women more so, but I want to try it.
Yeah.
But again, I've signed up for some of those dating apps that are like looking for unicorns and stuff, and I'm like, I would be all about that. I could go over to your house, have a great time with both of you, and go home and be by myself.
Yeah. Right.
Sign me up.
That's where I'm telling you.
Sign me up.
That's where it's at.
So after you said that Tori, I'm like, I'm going to reach out to Tori. Tori's going to be a great time.
Please. And they're serious about it. They're the funnest couple ever. And she was afraid to talk about that on camera. And I was like, oh, I'll ask. I mean, I was going to ask you in person. I was going to message you that, but yeah, I hear you 100%. I mean, so would you still be attracted to guys? I mean, would it be like
yeah, I'm always going to be attracted to men too. I just don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with their brains.
Have you dated all kinds? Have you dated?
That makes sense.
Have you dated like the real like masculine like leader guy? Have you dated have you dated all kinds? Like, and just you haven't found anything?
Yeah, I have. Again, I've always been kind of attracted to cowboys. I don't know what it is. I think that a lot of them kind of have that. What am I looking for? That kind of
this rugged,
the southern, just hospitality, the respect for women and saying ma'am and sir and opening doors, and I love that. And I feel like it is the bare minimum, and like the bars on the floor. But I'm not asking. And what is the stuff all over TikTok now about what is it they're calling? They're saying like drizzle or something, and
what is that? God, I'm even at what is it?
Oh my gosh, it's men that are trying to say that they ultimately want to be treated like women. They think that women should pay for things women should do this and women should do this, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me right now. And don't get me wrong, I will never be the woman that wants men to pay for things for me. Ever. If we go on a first date, good chance I'm paying because I don't want you to expect anything out of this first date. Yeah. I'll pay for everything. I don't care. You will not pay for a single thing for me. But I think you need to look up the drizzle thing on TikTok. It is absolutely hilarious. And yeah, it's men that are wanting to be treated like women. And I'm like, this is 2024 dating.
Like even like fucked like women, or just
you have to watch it.
It's like I will.
You need to make sure that you have the same amount of money in the bank account, and on our first date you're paying, and you're opening my door, and you're doing, and I'm like, what? And in my mind, I'm like, Southern men would never. They would never, because their moms raised them better. Like, they would open the door for me and say, ma'am, and, you know, just treat women with respect. And that's really all that I ask. That's all that I ask. And I think that women might have that, I don't know, maybe that same mindset. But I can't think of a single man right now. I don't know of a date that I've been on where the man has opened the door for me. Like,
just little things like that.
It's the bar is on the fucking floor. It's on the floor, and men are just dropping it. And I don't know what it is. And it could be. And don't get me wrong. I will call women out when I say that women are getting too comfortable asking for things. We're going to talk about that too. They're getting too comfortable expecting men to pay for things and taking care of them and pay my bills and do this and do this. I have never understood that. Even with my children's father, when we separated, I said, give me $300 a month. That helps me pay for daycare. Give me $300 a month and we'll call it even. He told me no like 15 times. And I said, well, we're going to go to court for child support, and you're going to get ordered way more. And that's exactly what happened. I will never want a man to pay my bills or pay. I struggle even letting a man buy me a drink. It's just not my thing. And I think women are getting far too comfortable asking for stuff like that. There's a thing with being respected, and also a thing with being kind of you're like entitled, I guess. You think that you're entitled to these things, which I don't agree.
Well, some guys do think you're gonna suck their dick if you get something for that. Like, it's a thing. It really is. I have a lot of girlfriends that I've known for years, and it's a thing. Like, he paid for dinner, so you're gonna get some ass out of it. Like, it's just expected.
I went on a date. This was shortly after my ex and I split up. I went on a date. We went and met downtown Kansas City, and it was like a sushi place, I want to say. And I was running late. I get it. I'm a girl. I'm known for being late to everything. Again, I live walking distance to you. I knew I was going to be late. I'm going to be late. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me the time 15 minutes early, so I know that I need that time. So I was running about 15 minutes late, but I was texting him, and I was going downtown Kansas City, and I do not know my way around down there at all. I like small towns for a reason.
Yeah.
I text him. I said, I'm running late. I'm on my way, but I'm running late. He sends me a message back that was apparently meant for his friends and not me.
Oh, fuck.
And he said, she's already running late. I better at least get some pussy out of this, or something like that.
God.
So I opened it. I'm driving. I'm almost there at this point, and I'm driving, and I was like, I opened it, I read it, and I was like, there's no fucking way that this just happened. And I was like, I already drove all the way down here. I'm at least going to get a dinner out of this. And so we sit down, we eat dinner. I'm very uninterested in everything that he's saying. I'm just enjoying my very fancy, nice sushi. And we go to leave, and I send him a message back, and I was like, just so you know, you need to make sure that you send the text to the correct person next time. And then I blocked him.
He had to have known, right?
He had to have.
The whole dinner, he knew he sent that to you.
You're paying for my dinner. At this point, you're paying for my dinner.
He never brought it up.
And I should rob you.
He never brought it up.
No.
Fuck. Oh my God, I've done that. I've done.
Have you?
I mean, years ago, I was with Kevin. Everybody knows Kevin, but I was with him, and I was mimicking how she sounded when I was having sex with her, and she was on my dad, on the fuck, because Bluetooth, it was the most second most embarrassing day of my life. First one was, are we dating the same girl? But I instantly pussied out and blocked her on everything, and had to decompress. I was a bitch about it, but it was embarrassing as fuck. So when he did that, he knows. He had to have double. But he was maybe
for him, he was already sitting there and already ordered a drink and stuff. So he was probably just as committed. I don't care.
Was he gentlemaned it up? Was he?
Yeah. I just sent him that message and blocked him, and said, just make sure that you send it to the correct person next time. But thank you for the expensive sushi. It was delicious.
She's already running late. Oh, I get some pussy. Oh, I would have just called it off. I would have been like, "You got me." Like, I don't know if I could have. Like, I would have been too embarrassed to even look at you in the
Oh
face.
my gosh. I don't know. I find it hilarious, and it takes a lot to make me like mad. So that's funny to me.
I still
That's
do it. I
so
did it to
funny.
him the other day. I have two Stevens in my life, the guy behind the camera and the guy that runs our late. I did it. It wasn't sexual, thank God, but I still to this day, when you're texting on an iPhone, whoop, whoop, whoop,
Why does it do that?
you can't, you have no time. If you send it, you're fucked. You
Oh my
can't.
God. I have my what's with and why is it I'm about to switch to Android. Why do iPhones do that to you?
I don't
Why do
know.
they do that to you?
Back in the day, remember you had the world had the load, and you had time to
Yeah.
cancel the text on the old.
iPhones you can undo send, by the way.
It doesn't give you that long though, I don't believe.
It
I think you
doesn't
have
give-
like 2 minutes or something.
And I'd still, even if I unsent it, I know it's sent, and there was a
And it
chance
shows that you unsent a message. So they're gonna
Oh,
be like,
yeah, you
what
can.
did you unsend?
you can, but still, it's like,
Yeah, no.
oh my, oh my.
I was
God.
having football conversations with two people at the same time. And obviously I'm a diehard Broncos fan,
Yeah.
but we've struggled and I'm fine with that. I'm still gonna talk shit. I'm still gonna talk shit. But we've struggled. So I was having a conversation with my father and with one of my guy friends at the same time about football. And at the time it was Joe Burrow because
Yeah.
Cincinnati was doing really well and Joe Burrow's hot. Everybody knows Joe Burrow's
Of
hot.
course, yeah.
So my father had sent me a text message that was like, I don't know.
Were you raised? I don't want to take too much time on the Broncos, but why do you like them?
Yeah,
What-
I was
were
raised a
you-
Broncos fan.
So your dad,
my
Austin, everybody's.
my whole family's a Broncos
Was it?
fan.
Was there a reason? Was he from? Is your dad?
From Denver?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
all right, I respect that a little more. It's not
yeah,
just.
and his cousin is like one of the managers for the Broncos. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole ordeal. But we've been diehard Broncos fans my whole life. And my dad had sent me a message that said like Joe Burrow sucks ass or something, and I was under the impression it was from my guy friend, and I said, "Oh God, I hope so." And then my dad sent me a message back,
Like,
and
what the fuck?
he said Ashley with a bunch of exclamation points. He's like, "I'm never gonna be able to unsee that."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "I'm so sorry, Dad. That was not meant for you, but here we are."
How were you even young enough? Are you even old enough to remember Elway?
I remember,
Like,
I remember those Super Bowls. Yeah, I was.
You were young, weren't you?
I was like 10, 11. I don't,
Okay, you weren't that young. Jeez,
No.
I'm so fucking old. I don't even. But so from then on, you were hooked. I mean,
since I was old enough to watch football and remember football, I've been a Broncos
in high school, were you wearing Broncos shit? even?
forever. I have pictures of me and Lindsay, my girlfriend Lindsay, in high school, and we were both diehard Broncos fans. You probably know Lindsay as well.
Yeah,
to this
I'm
day.
sure.
Love her so much. Her and I will be Broncos fans till the day we die, and
That's awesome.
we're just gonna let them be shitty.
I always wondered because I thought that was just because you get people fucking riled up during football season. You pissed me off a couple.
I try
Especially
to.
when we lose. Like
I
know,
try to.
I know your fucking timeline's going to be the goddamn team that beat us. So
And
but,
it'll be something funny. I'll always
yeah,
try to
you
post.
keep it.
Yeah, people that and every once in a while I'll get men that get actually mad about it, like
I've
get
seen.
super angry, and I'm like, you obviously don't know me at all because this happens every single football season. It's going to continue to happen. Just delete me if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I'll post just funny things like the Chiefs will lose, and I'm like, hey, like, are you guys doing good, or how's everyone? Like, what's going on? Did anybody catch a score of the game? Because I missed it. But
But you take it just as hard though when it's the
do.
other way around. It's all. But I've seen the guys that, for some reason, you're always on my feed during football season, and I've seen some guys like posting you stats, and I'm like, dude, it ain't that fucking. You average
Obviously,
3. What the fuck?
when you're a fan of a team that's garbage, we really don't care. I just give you a hard time. That's all that it is.
Yeah.
And I love it. I will always be down to talk football and watch football. My Sundays are dedicated to football when that time comes around, but I'm just,
So you couldn't date a guy that didn't like sports, I don't think,
no.
or unathletic in every sense.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
because they're out there, just the business oriented. Like I couldn't see that for you. Just
that
from the-
doesn't interest me at all. Not at all. I need to watch football.
And what's the oldest you've gone?
I love older men.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't even date somebody my age, honestly. Glenn was the closest to my age, and he's 2 years older than me. the one that I dated that was pretty serious was, I think, 14 years older than me.
Damn.
So yeah, again, it's that Southern like hospitality type.
Sugar daddies.
They have a different respect for women that men now don't.
Yeah.
Constantly, ma'am this, ma'am that, and
what's up? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just ma'am this, ma'am that, and just very, very respectful. Asking if you ever, do you need anything? Like, let me help you. Let me this. I never asked if I needed help with anything, but my ex did. He was very good about that, so I'll always give him credit. And I think he's dating somebody else now, which is fantastic for her and him. I wish him the best. But older men.
And I mean, if you even remotely dated someone your age or younger, I mean, you already know what you're getting into, right? Would that just be because you're feeling frisky for the summer or something? Like, that's a complete waste of time.
I'm not attracted to them. I'm not attracted to men my age or men younger than me. It's just not a thing.
You just know instantly, right? They're just not. And then it came and
honestly, I've been like that. I've been like that my entire life. I've when I was 18, I was dating men that were like 24. It's just been a thing, and I think it's because my mindset has pretty much always been the way that it is now. I feel older than what I'm 34, and I feel like I should be older than what I am. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
It does.
I wouldn't even entertain somebody that was younger. That's another big thing on TikTok right now, though, too, is
sugar daddy.
Is the women that are going after the men that are like, I'm 34, so that are going after men in their 20s. And I'm like, I don't even find them attractive.
What the fuck?
I don't find them attractive. And I don't want to have to teach you anything. And I feel like I'd have to teach you a lot. I'm not here for that.
You'd get fucked like a rabbit, and then like,
yeah,
and then what?
3 minutes of,
and then what? Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm still a dumbass. At me at 20, Jesus Christ.
I've heard stories.
Right? I mean, my God, what the fuck? That's all the way around. But so with the older guys, I mean, you like older guys, but you wouldn't do the sugar daddy thing. Like, you wouldn't let anyone buy you anything. Like, as you know, I bought fake tits for somebody.
I still can't believe you said that. That's a rule of thumb.
I know.
That is a rule of thumb, because
Dr. Swanson in Overland Park. Thanks, buddy.
I was going to ask who because it's expensive. I paid for my own, but I went to the guy in Lee Summit. Now I've never been able to pronounce his name, but they're expensive. I think mine were like $6,500 or something.
That's what they were. It was like broken down into payments, but yeah.
How did you had to make payments on it even after?
Well, I had the money. Like, during COVID, I was like, it was insane money. I'll tell you sometime what I was doing. It was legal, but it was just like, COVID was ridiculous. Everything was triple pay. Like, I was basically I was doing medical courier shit, but like, I was getting paid astronomical amount of money to deliver organs and blood when no one wanted to go in hospitals. I'm talking Scarface. I was Scarface without the drugs. So she saw this and she wanted tits, right? And
who doesn't?
I thought ahead, like, what if we break up? Fuck. And I kept pushing the tits down the road. June, we'll do it in June. We'll do it. And then finally she's like, I want my tits. So I ponied it up in 2 payments. And like I said, it's the stupidest thing I've ever done. And you can't take tits with you when you break up with somebody, and everyone else gets to enjoy them. And
I bought my own, and I love them. And Glenn knew that I did it because I obviously couldn't take care of the kids for a couple of days, so they had to go with my mom, or maybe I don't remember now. But I had to. And he's like, "Well, who bought those?" I'm like, "I bought them because I'm never gonna be able to tell him or like have to say that a man bought my tits for me." Like, oh yeah, John bought my boobs for me. Like, however, I'm jealous of the women that get that done, because I want. If you ever feel like selling organs or whatever you were doing, I don't know. Do that again. I want new titties. Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, and then, I mean, I'm in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. I lived with her. So maybe that I tried to justify it in my head. Well, that was my rent. I paid my rent that way. I bought her tits. That was like 6 months. a year worth of rent. I had to make myself feel better somehow.
Yeah,
But I mean,
other people are enjoying them now, though. I mean, that's fantastic.
yeah.
If anybody ever wants to buy me new tits,
How do those? Is there upkeep?
I'm here for it. Okay, I am here for it.
Is there upkeep on them? Do you have to like get them redone every now?
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to. I think
like
it's like 10 years or something along those lines. But I'd get them redone tomorrow.
So
like, let's get them bigger.
Did that cook Glenn's ass that you did that?
Oh, he was so mad. He was so mad. Yeah, he was so mad. He's to this day, and my sister knows it. If I told Glenn I want to get back together with you, he would move out of that house in half of a second.
Really?
1,000%.
Damn.
Yeah. Which would never happen because I think he's disgusting. But
well, what's the thing? Because Glenn is very. I mean, like, how have you had to deal with people loving Glenn and loving you? Because is the lineman drawn in the sand?
Yeah, he's lost friends and I've lost friends. Like I've had to make it very clear. Like if you're supportive of his behavior, don't be my friend, okay? Because this is what's truly going on. A lot of people don't know. He makes me out to be a horrible person, and which I mean, I'm sure I am a bitch. I know that I am, but what you can't say about me is that I'm not a good mom, because I'm a fantastic mom, and I work hard and whatever. But I've had to draw lines and cut friends off, and I know that there's people in North Carolina that have had to do the same for him that were originally his friends because they know like what's happened. But
have you ever been talking with people and they're sharing stories and you're like, I got one to one up you, motherfucker? I mean, like, because yours is pretty. I mean, that is.
It gets brought up, and I find it so funny. And honestly, I enjoy talking about it. I don't care at all. It used to bother me a lot, and I spent a lot of time just like, why I didn't care what he did. I don't care who you sleep with. You could go have a gangbang in our old bedroom. I don't care what you do. But it was my sister betraying me that was upsetting for quite some time for me. But now I'm like, you guys are great together. You guys are fantastic. What versions of that
story have you heard? Because most people watching this are going to know us, and I've heard everything from you walked in on them, there was a gun pulled, you pulled a gun on them.
I wish I would have. I don't own any guns, but
I've heard just over the years, it's snowballed into this crazy, like almost legend tell. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's gotten around from everywhere, but I've heard just, very similar things, but nobody really knew. He's made me out to be a horrible person, which I don't care what people think of me, so that doesn't bother me at all. But don't ever say that I'm a bad mom. That's all I ask, because I'm like, Glenn, like I take everything that those kids have is because of me. Everything. I do their doctor's appointments. I pay for everything. When they're sick, I miss work, or I take them to work with me, or I attend every single sporting event imaginable, practices, games. I take them on vacations once or twice a year by myself. Like I'm a good mom. So you can say whatever else you want, but don't say that.
And what were you doing? I seen you went to Mexico. What the hell were you doing?
Oh, that was a work trip. We traveled. Like I was actually supposed to be in Dallas this weekend originally, and our flight got canceled. So I travel for work like every 2 or 3 months.
Is there any hot Rico Suaves in Mexico?
No, I'm not. No,
there wasn't nothing like now.
But I work with a lot of doctors because I manage a chiropractic office. So I work with a bunch of doctors, and if a doctor ever wanted to date me, I'd probably say yes.
Hell yeah.
They'd probably buy me some titties.
Hell yeah, they would.
You think they would?
Yes.
Chiropractors make good money
Just
too.
send them the first pick. At least give them that.
I have nice ones right now. I would send them mine now and then be like, I just want an upgrade.
So another thing, what's your thing on nudes? Like, we're in the nude generation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you send nudes?
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean, if you're talking to someone, I mean, because...
Yeah, I don't care. I'm 34. I do not care.
I've been sending, like, we grew up in that era where you sent...
Do you send dick pics?
I've been doing it since I was 19. I mean,
everybody does, but women don't want dick pics. Though.
But I don't send.
Women don't want dick pics.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
They do not.
I know.
Women want videos. We want videos. I'm 1,000%, and no woman will disagree with me. We want videos. We want like videos of you guys like jerking off, and we want to hear it. And 1,000% every single time over a picture. We don't care about a picture. We don't care about that.
Because they all look the same at the
Take
end of
videos. Take videos with the sound on. And what are you watching? We wouldn't know what you're watching. What are you watching?
Mm-hmm. That's good. Noted.
I'm into some weird stuff though, so I'm probably not the one. I'm probably giving bad advice, but
Well, what? Like, if you want to talk about, what do you watch? I mean, because we're so desensitized. I mean, I watched one time on porn an alien tentacle fucking a girl. I mean, it's like sometimes you got to mix it up, and we've just been watching porn in our age group since AOL.
first we've had it forever.
Since AOL.
We've had it forever.
Our parents had to sneak a Playboy out, like that was like gold. Now we have you type in anything you want.
Well, and here's the thing. Women, we also have fantastic toys too. So men don't really have that. Do men have a lot of like good?
Justin Shackelford bought me the Riley Reid pocket pussy.
Oh my God.
But I always have a fear of dying using it. Like, I don't want my mom to find me. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't. I don't know why I would die, but like, if God just zapped me out of here and I died with my Riley Reid pocket pussy, that scares me from. And here's the real thing. And my landlord's gonna watch this because she follows me. Here's where it really happened. I did it once and I washed it out and I put it with my dishes. Like, I put it in my dish rack. And that day, the fucking HVAC guy had to come over and like fix my thing. And I have an alarm. So my landlord had to come over and she called me from the kitchen. And I know she's seen it. Like,
shut up. First of all, why were you washing it with your dishes?
Well, I mean, I washed it out the sink because you unscrew the bottom and you hose out what's in it.
Okay, is this the thing that looks like
it's like a flashlight.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
a flashlight. But I put it in my dish rack, pussy up, to dry.
So you go inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do.
I've seen them, but I just wasn't really sure how that worked.
You feel ridiculous doing it, and like it really crossed my mind. What if I died? Like, what if I got home rated?
You were having a great time.
Oh fuck!
You were having a great time. That doesn't even cross my mind. Doesn't cross my mind. I have a million toys. Being single for as long as I have a million toys. Funny story. My daughter love my kids more than anything on this planet. But they want to ruin my life. I'm convinced. My daughter found my stash of toys. I keep them under my bed in a box, and but they don't really come in my room, so I didn't think anything of it. And my daughter found one of my toys, a like dildo that I had, and took it to school and gave it to her teacher.
Oh God!
And I go to drop her off at school, and her teacher comes out to me, had it double bagged, ziplocked, and then in a brown bag, and was like, "Your daughter gave this to me. You're going to be mortified when you find out what it is." And when she said that, I immediately knew what it was. I was like, this won't be the most embarrassing thing that my kids have ever done to me, but thank you. She was like, I wanted to give her flowers. I'm like, Keely, next time, let's get her fucking flowers.
Oh my God.
Like, don't give, first of all, that's expensive.
That might top the sister story. Like, that is great. That is, oh my God.
How does this stuff happen to me? I don't know. But women have.
It looks like she looked like a toy, right? She didn't know, right?
She said she got it from the science store. That's what she told her teacher.
Oh my God.
And I'm trying to picture like how she gave it to her teacher. Did she like take it out and just like, here you go?
Well, good for the teacher. She didn't make a big deal about it.
No, bless her heart. She's the sweetest person ever. And I'm just like.
She around our age or younger?
I think she's a little bit older. But I've been on some field trips with them now too, which is just so funny. But yeah, that's its own story. But women have fantastic toys. The rose is a big one.
What does that do?
I don't have the rose, and I want to get one, but I have something similar to it.
Do you think that hurts a real guy having the chance to get the girl off? I've seen that debate on TikTok. Like, because we can't compete with the rose.
You can't compete with things, but you can join them. I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex with a man that's not willing to add toys to the equation. We need to bring the toys in, and it's not because you're not doing your job. It's because it's more fun. Like, and why would you, are you scared of that? What do you,
Before we go, the porn, like what porn, like do you think first of all, what do you think that's done to people? I mean, do you think it's desensitized us a little bit?
Kind of, but I think that again, you have to have that communication with your partner. Like, are you okay with that? I would never be upset if I like caught my significant other like watching porn and jerking off. I wouldn't be upset. Like, okay, well,
we do it. Like, why fucking?
I'm tired tonight. Go take care of yourself. I don't care. I don't care what you watch. I don't care. That's very odd. I wouldn't even be upset. It's kind of hot to me if a man is like watching videos or pictures of like his exes and jerking off to them. Doesn't bother me at all. Does not faze me. I love it. We can watch any porn together. We can, I will try anything once. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I like it, we're going to keep doing it. Gotcha. So that's just the way it is. I love it. I'm free. So Tori, I'm going to be reaching out to.
Please do.
I'm going to be reaching out to you.
That's awesome. Fucking, oh my God. She's going to fucking flip.
Is she?
Yeah, she's going to be really happy about that.
That's so funny.
But please get in touch with her. And, to slowly wrap things up, I mean, you're like, when people think of Raytown, they think of you. Like, there's certain people they think of, like, just from, like, everybody knows each other. Like, we're from that. Mm-hmm. I was a senior when you were a freshman. From 08 to 05, 06, those classes were close. Cindy, it's everybody from those classes. So I think a lot of people are going to, see this episode. I'm very thankful you came through.
I loved it.
You took you a while to get here.
I almost walked, but it's muddy.
But yeah, that's kind of, I just want to encourage people to, like you said, you'd be down to date a girl. That's awesome. And mostly the story, what you've been through and the fact you can laugh about it now in a way. And, like a lot of people probably never recover from that mentally.
Probably not.
I mean, you got to make the best of it.
You live one life. Exactly. You live one life. Just enjoy it. Do whatever makes you happy. Don't worry about making other people happy or upsetting other people or other people judging you. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah. You live one life. Go do whatever you want to do, even if that's women.
Because I'm sure you've learned this. I mean, when people act like they like you and then you find out they never did, it's like, God damn, they said that about it. Like, you know what I mean? So you can't compete with people. You just got to do you. And if a couple people like you along the way, that's all you can ask for.
The less people you have in your life, the less drama.
Real quick, do you have like a best girl? Do you have a best friend? Or you kind of just...
I do. I have a best friend and she just moved to California
that sucks.
2 weeks ago.
You keep your circle small though, right?
I do. I have very close, I would say maybe seven people or so. And they're all like vet techs or veterinarians that I've worked for in the past that are my best friends. And that's again, Amy's my best friend and she just moved, but we've been friends since we were like 5 years old. But
awesome.
I'll be going to California. I've never been, so
good. Yeah, Spirit. I know everyone laughs at Spirit. You can go round trip, $150. You'll get there. It's janky, but you'll get there. But
I have flight anxiety. I'll pay for whatever.
Is she in LA? Like, I mean, because I've spent half my life there. Where part?
She's by Laguna Beach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But she's living on it's like a golf course.
That's Leawood of LA.
Is it?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. She'll be good. Well, I want to cheers you one last time. It has been an amazing...
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
This will be a great episode. I think people are really going to resonate with it. I mean...
Love the drama.
You speak for a lot of... like a lot of people follow you and you're kind of like... Booking you is like booking a celebrity in a sense of Raytown. You and Tori these are back-to-back powerhouse episodes.
Yeah, we'll have to get one with her and I, especially after we hook up.
Exactly.
We'll have to get one with her and I.
There you go, right there. Right there. Well, neighbor, I appreciate you so much. Yeah. Cheers. And thanks for watching Drinks with Dave. More episodes to come. Thank you so much. Thanks for checking out the Drinks on Dave podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe below so you never miss an episode. Because you never know who's going to show up and have a drink on Dave.
I want new titties.